Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. Today I have a layout process video for you from the CKC challenge number 2 of the month, which is to use repeating shapes. I'm also going to be combining that with the layout a day challenge, and I've kind of chosen 3 different prompts from the last few days of the layout a day challenge to scrap about. And so my story is about the first time of something, and this is the first time one of my kids have moved out of the house. Now she's not gone permanently yet, she's just off to college, but it's a step in that direction and it's something new for us, so I wanted to capture that first time in our lives. And another part of the layout a day challenge was to focus on a single color. And a third part of the layout a day challenge was to tell a story that starts with the one with, and that's all based on our theme for the month from a TV show, and that's how they always titled their TV episodes. So this is going to be the one with all the moving boxes, and in fact it's going to turn into the first one with all of the moving boxes, so that I get all of these challenges incorporated with the repeating shapes, which we'll get to, and those 3 layout a day challenges. So as I was chatting, I did gut my background paper because this is a small kit that I'm working from, and if you don't know about my Counterfeit Kit builds, I will link you up to that. All the information for Counterfeit Kit and layout a day will be in the notes below so that you can find that if you don't know about them already. So I did, like I said, I gutted my paper and I put down, trimmed down an inch from each side of the central paper to create that frame. And then I've got 3 4x6 photos, and this is often a pattern layout that I will do when I have that many 4x6 photos because it just works out really well and it leaves little nooks and crannies to embellish, to title, to journal, and things like that. So I am going to outline these photos with a pen just because it saves time, saves materials, and it gives the photos just a little bit more of a pop. So I did slightly gap those photos apart from each other so that I could fit the tip of my pen in there. Now that leaves a space there on the left that is going to work perfectly for a title, but because I'm focusing on blue for this layout, I did need to pull in some neutrals to kind of help break some things up a little bit. And while I was pulling out things, I did grab another alphabet from another one of my CKC kits because it's blue, it's small enough to build the long title that I have planned, and it has enough letters left to build that whole title. So all of those are kind of important. So with that white paper, I did create this jumbo tag, and this is where I started building my title. And I don't get that word first in there right away, but I do go back and add that later. And so I like to build titles with different fonts that I can mix and match. And so with this second font, I am also trying to capture the blue. I had wanted to kind of not stagger, offset the blues so that it would be like dark light, but I didn't have the letters in those colors, so I just had to go with it. So that is how that worked out, and I am going to outline those letters with my pen also, just for a little more pizzazz and pop, and that helps with that. So that leaves me with a couple of areas on the right-hand side I'm going to use for my journaling. And then I start thinking about embellishing, and I realize I need to make sure I incorporate those repeated shapes, which I had in my mind all along to build my own little moving box embellishments. So just with a square punch and then some little rectangle strips, and I make these rectangle strips in a couple of different ways, but you don't have to get as complicated as I do. I build these little moving boxes, and I am kind of experimenting back and forth with a couple of different styles, and what I end up with is I like the white, again, because that helps break up all the blue on this layout with that neutral color, and then I like it with the lighter blue topper because that color is more in the background, so that lighter blue can come forward a little bit, and then it won't blend in as much with that dark blue layer. And so I build a little box, and then I pop those up on foam dots. At first I tried to pop up the kind of lid of the box on foam dots, but it wasn't working quite well. So this is what I ended up with my embellishments, and actually a couple of them I left flat so that I have multi-layers of these boxes in stacks, and I think that adds to the theme. And I did add some little black enamel arrows, and I ran out of those, so on my final 2 boxes I have some little triangle acetates, and that kind of reminds me of the, this side up on moving boxes. And here is where you see me add in that word first. I just used my label maker in a small font to print out that word and then trimmed it down really tiny so that I could just tuck that word into my title. And then I've got these arches there that are going to hold my journaling, and I had a few little spaces on the layout that needed just a little bit of something. And also, again, to break up some of that blue just a little bit with neutrals. And since my title alphabet does have some wood grain elements to it, the cork and the little wood grain triangles that I add does blend in with that. So that does wrap up this layout for this time. I got my journaling on there, and those arches were from a Chamel pop-apart piece of paper that I had saved these pieces for, and I really liked using these arch shapes because it reminded me of a bridge, and she's kind of bridging life from living at home to living on her own, and so those arches are there for a reason. That is it for this time. If you got something useful out of this video, either combining lots of challenges into one layout or using repeated shapes or anything else that you may have found useful, I would appreciate a thumbs up because that does help my channel. I will be back next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with 3 more videos for you, so I do hope you'll join me then. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.